check this out. This is a 1986 Yamaha TRIZ 250. We're gonna get this thing running for this guy again. We gotta clean the chain all up. We gotta bleed the front brakes out. There's all kinds of things. But let's take a quick walk around this thing and we'll talk about it here in a second. All right, so this is, I believe, the original owner, and it has sat for many years. Now, you guys might have saw in one of my shorts here recently on YouTube that I found a Kickstarter for this thing. All right, check this out. Fits right up there. Now, this is not for the TRIZ. This is actually for a 1986 Honda Big Red 250 ES, something like that, or S, or whatever the Big Red is. I was looking at one when I was working on it, and it had a forward kick, and I was like, there's no way this thing has a forward kick. So I checked the splines out down here. I measured the shaft for the Kickstarter system, measured it on a Big Red, and they matched up. So I ordered this off of Amazon for 20 bucks, I think, $17, and it mounted right up, and it works perfectly. I'm really pumped about that because I could not find a decent one or a decently priced one for the TRIZ 250. Again, man, it's impressive. It's got all the original OEM stickers on here for the shifting, the oil stuff, the warning labels. It's got everything. I think the only thing he said was changed was maybe the pipe or the silencer on this, and he still has it. I really want to buy this unit from him. It's all original plastics, all original stickers, all original everything. So my objective here is basically clean the chain and sprocket. We'll check out compression on the motor. We'll check spark, clean the carburetor out, get some new fuel in this thing, which on this one, guys, the fuel tank is under the seat right here. It's not up here. This is the airbox on this model. We'll check the airbox out, make sure there's no mice living inside that thing. The front brake reservoir or master cylinder is not working. It's flat, so we'll see if we can get that fixed and rebuilt and maybe bled out. We'll try to bleed it first and we'll check it all out. It's got front brake pads, it's got rear brake pads. The rear rim's a little bit bent, but that's all right. I'm excited, super excited to work on this thing. I really just want to buy it from him. Trying to get him to sell it to me is the hard part. And the funny thing is, he really, he doesn't know what he has his hands on because he's not really into this genre of stuff. He's just owned this thing since he's been a kid, and he's ready to go riding with his kids. Maybe I could trade him out something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But let's go ahead and we'll jump into this thing. We'll go ahead and pull the spark plug out, check the air box, check it for spark, make sure there's nothing in there, clean out the gas tank, carburetor off this thing. Let's get this bad boy up and running. Let's figure out what's going on with this 1986 TRIZ 250, this piece of nostalgia. All right, so I just drained the gas out. Actually, the gas looked pretty good. He probably put new in there, but I want to make sure it's completely empty. Let's go ahead and get this air filter checked out, make sure we got no little critters living in there. So the last thing we need is some mice hanging out inside the air box. I'd hate to see that and suck that down the motor. That would really suck, no pun intended. I mean, how cool. So right there's exactly what I'm talking about. Look at that. That's why we always got to check. We got a mouse nest living inside this bad boy. So we got to pull this off. We'll pull that 10, disconnect it from here, It should pull just straight off since we got the wing nut out. We'll get this guy come with us, and then we'll try to get this heated back up, the seal back around that lip so it seals over here really well. And I'll vacuum this out. So let me get the airbox out and we'll continue from there. All right, bolts are out. Lift this up, take a look in. At least it didn't eat through the air filter, so that's a positive. All right, let's check on this guy here real quick. All right, that's on there pretty good. We're probably gonna end up taking the back plastics off this thing, and I got another phone call coming, so I'll answer this phone call, remove the black plastics, and we'll clean that airbox. All right, so let's get this off real quick. Took the 4 bolts here, the ones in the back. It should just come up now, I believe. I might be lying. Oh no, I forgot the ones on the fenders. How could I forget the one on the fender? Is it a nut on the back side? Yep, nut on the back side. Forgot, I'm dead looking at them. Wife calls me and I just lose my mind. That one here. Take a walk around. Trying to keep you guys at a good angle to be able to see stuff. Here we go. Now, say it again. Now I should be able to take these off. Nice and easy. That was a lot easier. I'm gonna walk over here. I'm gonna hang them up here. So now they're up there out of the way. Again, like I said, for those you don't know, gas tank is under the seat. This is part of your airbox and air cleaner. We're probably gonna get that out of there. We'll work on that once we raise it up. And that way we have, right now you can see where the spark plug is. I'll have to worry about the thermostat. We'll drain coolant out. We'll drain gear case oil out. I'll change all the brake fluids and that and see if I can rebuild that front master or not. But right now I just wanna make sure that this thing does have spark to start off with, but I also want to make sure that we're not sucking anything into the reeds or the carburetor or anything. I know the carburetor has to be cleaned and probably rebuilt, so we'll probably do that. I'll probably take it apart and just rebuild it off a camera. That way we're not spending a bunch of time on it, or I may just do the whole thing. I really don't know. So, but right now you can see they had a kill switch wired in at one point in time in case they crashed it. It is run. Lights, turn those off. They love putting this thing on there. They have both quads they have are like that. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get this airbox cleaned up here a little bit. Let's pull this out, and then I'll grab my vacuum cleaner. I'll have to clean this with some cleaner and then re-grease it. It is nice and sticky though. That's kind of nice. It does have oil on it. That's a miracle. All right, any critters gonna run out? That's the real question. That's the real question. Any critters gonna run out? Doesn't look like it. So I'm gonna take this out to the trash can, empty this out, clean it out, and then we'll raise this thing up and check for spark. All right, guys. So the air filter is chewed up from that mouse. It's a uni dual stage one. Got another one coming. We're gonna go ahead and get up inside of here and get this spark plug out. It looks like it's a BPE ADS, whatever the hell they are. What is that, like a, what is it, 13/16 for the size of that one? I don't remember. They don't make it convenient to get in there very easily. But yep, it feels like 13/16. Get that out. We'll check spark on this bad boy. Got oil on it. Let's check the spark out. So let's see, on. Everything looks like it's on. try to get it to ground to something here. I don't know if we'll be able to see that or not. Oh yeah. We got sparks. Let me answer this phone call. Let's get this carburetor out of here. We know we have a spark. So let's see if we can't get this bad boy out. Get this intake out of here. Might be a little tough with the old, there we go, it came right out. Good. I'd say it might be tough with the gas tank sitting there, but it came out. It is clean, does not smell like rat pee, so that's a good thing. Like I said, the rat chewed a hole in the bottom of the airbox, so I'll have to tape that up. We will get this carburetor out of here. We'll check the slide out. All that good stuff. I mean, everything feels really good on this. Yeah, the carburetor, you can just see it needs to be cleaned. The spark plug was a little wet, but I know this carburetor needs to be cleaned. Who knows how old the gas was. We need new oil in the transmission anyways. There's the slide. If I can get it to come out without tearing anything up. There, oh, there we go. That actually looks really good. I didn't expect it to look that nice at all. Huh, I'm happy about that. I need to get the fuel line off the other side. Forgot about that. Grab a pair of, they might be out already. Spin you in circles, make you dizzy. Where did I put, might be over here on this lovely piece of equipment. We'll go with the straight ones, why not? Get that off of here. There we go. All right, go ahead and pop out the carburetor. There is the beautiful carburetor for this 86 TRIZ. Any fuel in there? Nope. Let's grab a 17. Well, actually, don't need to grab a 17. Let's grab our Phillips head screwdriver again. Our JIS. Somebody goes, oh, it's not Phillips, it's JIS on this older bike, which I'm like, yes, I understand that. We'll get these out. We'll check the carburetor. And then I'll go over here, I'll drain the oil. If I gotta throw this in the sonic cleaner, which probably gonna have to. Oh yeah, look at all that gunk down there in the bottom. All right, so we got to pull these little balls off the top. Oh, if I can get them. Oh yeah, the float stuck. That's one reason there. That float was stuck for one. Yeah, we got to get that out. Let's grab our. Got to grab a couple things here. Let's grab our automatic center punch. This will help get that out instead of having to push on those towers really hard. Like when these things are pressed in, kind of like this one is, you can take a center punch, hit it once, maybe twice, it takes that pressure off, tapping those towers sideways and get this thing right out. Sometimes you do have to go back in if you don't get it centered, clean up the edge right here a little bit. The fuel seat. Yeah, this bad boy's gonna have to be soaked. That is for sure. Grab our dowel pliers. These really help getting these seats out. That bad boy is stuck in there. Push that to the side. Come on. this little retaining clip for the fuel needle. Get that there. Yeah, she's nasty. Completely nasty. I'll have a new O-ring already in stock. Let's get our, well, we need to take this off too, the fuel line. We get a 12, pull this off. We can pull, I'll have to see and find out if it has a O-ring underneath here, which I'm gonna probably guess it does. Where is my, will that fit down in here to get this? Yes. All right, cool. I was worried about that pilot. Sometimes you cannot get those things out with this screwdriver. 7, 6. 6 on the main jet, get it out. Like that. The whole emulsion tube. You can just see all the wow, that's in there pretty good. Put this back in. Give it a few little taps and it'll drive it out the top. But the main jet, I don't think fits through. It might fit through. It might fit through because that's why they got that the spacer in there. All right. There's that emulsion tube, this, that. We can get this O-ring off of here. It's still nice. Dude, it's so impressive. That thing's still pliable from having 2-stroke oil on it. That's amazing. Need a 12 for the choke. Oh, is it a 13? 14. I thought it's like a big crazy if it's a 13 being on this thing. Now you can take this whole thing completely apart right there. It does have security bits here. You can get that out here. You can take the whole thing apart. But I'm not going to do that on this one. I'm gonna do a little bit of research and see if there's any, I have to find a rebuild kit for this thing. I would love to completely redo that. Also, redo everything on this carburetor. How many turns out are we from fully seated? Let's find out. Half, 1 1/4. Okay, 1 1/4 from fully seated. Is that correct? Might be. My gosh, everything is just stuck from that 2-stroke oil just coagulating like it did. So there's that. Let me look up a breakdown of this carburetor and see what we can, see if I can find a rebuild kit for this also. I don't think I need to take that plate off. There's nothing underneath there that I need to worry about. But again, the biggest thing is here in this gasket and underneath down here, if it has an O-ring, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna check that out. All right, so I got the carburetor all cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and take my bamboo stick Q-tip and some Brassol or aluminum polish or brass polish, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this seat, put it in the drill, clean that up really nice. Everything else is gonna be cleaned up. This, the float needle looks really good. Everything looks clean. I'm gonna go ahead and reassemble this. I'll install it back in on the 3-wheeler, and then we'll continue on to the next problem. Now, I did go ahead and drain the oil out of this thing already, and I did refill it. I just dropped my mic. Give me 1 second. So basically, it says it takes 1,050 cubic centimeters, which is 1,050 milliliters. Here's your check plug. So basically what I did, I put pretty much that amount, maybe a little bit over, in my jug, filled it up, had this out, and when it started coming out of that, I go ahead and let it stop, and then go ahead and put the fill cap back on. I have read people using 10W40, 10W30 in the transmissions, your 80 weight WT transmission oils. I'm gonna leave that preference up to you guys. So you figure that out, what you wanna run. The reeds look fantastic. What's the other word? Look, I don't know, they're great. The reeds in here, I checked, they're not even, there's no air, no open at all in that. So the next thing I'm gonna go do, I could not find a B80S spark plug local. I don't have one on my shelf, but this one is pretty good looking. It's not horrible by any means. It does have sparks. We'll probably end up using that to fire this off. After I get this carburetor together, I'm gonna go ahead, we'll do a compression check on this. We know it has spark, do a compression check. I'll mix up some 40-to-1. We'll pour that down in there. Air cleaner is in order, but I wanna see if this thing will fire up and run. It'll run a little bit lean without the air cleaner on there and the air intake and all that, but I want to see if this thing will fire up and run. All right, so I just dumped the oil. If you look here, you can see it's a lot of silver. It's most likely just transmission gears and stuff like that. Again, this is a 1986, nothing unexpected. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna walk over here. I do have the carburetor back in place. I could have kept it off, but we're gonna go ahead and hop up here and do a compression test on this thing. We're gonna see what kind of compression we have here. Again, throttle wide open when we do this. I don't know how well you guys be able to see that compression gauge while I kick. We're just gonna go till it stops going. Right now we're at 180. Check that out. A little over 180. I'm hot, sweaty. We got plenty of compression. Sweet, plenty of compression. I could throw the fuel line back on, spark plug back in, but first I want to check the coolant in this thing. Let's see how nasty that is. And again, I did change transmission fluid. And again, this is off a 1986 Honda ATC Big Red 250. Works pretty damn good if you ask me. All right guys, so I verified that we do have fuel coming from the petcock here and the fuel pump there. I cleaned all that up, made sure that was good. Did not take the fuel pump apart, just made sure that the diaphragm was moving. Made sure I had the vacuum here, and then kicked it over at the spark plug until I got, you can see gas down there. Now we're gonna go ahead and drain this coolant, if there is any. I did just notice there might be some in there. It looks a little wet. That the rear brake is locked solid and the front brake is dead, like I said before. But let's go ahead and drain the coolant out of this thing. We will refill it with brand new coolant. It doesn't look horrible. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't have coolant in here before. He's done all this, but we're running through the whole scenario. He wanted it all gone through. So the coolant is a little dark, but not horrible. We'll just add back some 50/50 universal. For right now, we'll decide if we're gonna run some Yamaha, or what is it? We could run, oh, my brain's not working. Whatever it is for run 15 degrees cooler. Let's go ahead and take out the one from the head cylinder, not the head, but the cylinder. We'll get all that out. We want every bit we can get out of this motor, So we'll drain that out. I can't believe we have 108 pounds of compression on this thing. It's pretty impressive. So I'll let this finish draining out. I'll end up Go ahead and refilling it with some 50/50 again. Give it a few kicks here. Let me make sure this is off because I do not want this thing to accidentally fire up on me while I'm doing that, because it does have the spark plug back in it. All right, that looks pretty good. Plug these two back off, and then I'll fill the coolant back up in the radiator. Guys, it's full on coolant. I don't have much batteries left in this thing. We do have gas. I don't have the air cleaner on, any of that. We got compression. We have oil in the transmission. There is fuel on this thing. Let's go ahead and see if this thing will actually fire up. Let's give it a few kicks here. Turn it on, run, off, run. Let's get it all primed up. I'm gonna grab the choke, pull the choke up here again. It might take a minute to get some I did not expect that at all. Holy smokes. I was just trying to prime it. Again, this thing hasn't ran in, I don't know, 15 years. I can't believe it. How insane. I can't believe, let me turn this fan around. It's blowing smoke back in here like crazy. I cannot believe that that just fired up I was literally just priming it over and didn't expect that. I did not expect that to happen. That is awesome. That is freaking awesome. Let's see how easy it starts. Whoop. Get on a shot. Nope, doesn't start too easy, I guess, but let's just see what happens again. Was it a fluke? Maybe it was a fluke. I don't know. Okay, maybe it was a fluke, but it started and ran. That is awesome. So we know it starts and runs. Whew. It is freaking hot in here. It is hot. It's over 100 degrees, man. My thermostat says it's high. But can you believe that this thing started and ran? I can't freaking believe it. And I know we don't have very much gas in there either. Carburetor's not leaking from what I can tell. This coolant is from what I spilt on it. But man, I cannot believe this thing fired up. Yeah, baby, yeah. I haven't heard one of these run in person probably since I've been 15, and again, I don't know if you guys know the story. I don't know if I told at the beginning of the video when I started recording this or not, but TRIZ 250, 185S Honda Big Red almost killed me and a friend when we were 15 years. I was 15, he was 14, I think. We hit head on a corner, and more my fault apparently than from what I was told. I don't remember any of it. Super cool to have this thing up and running. I'm gonna dilly around with a little stuff. I gotta work on the rear brakes. Got to work on the front brakes. Might have to rebuild the master cylinder on that maybe, or maybe just needs bled out. But the rear brakes are completely locked up. Could be the pivot, could be the master, could be the caliper. I don't know, but I'm pumped that it starts and we know it runs. That's freaking sick. So I'm gonna continue on working on this, guys. The video will still run. I'm just probably gonna do the brakes off camera. Nobody wants me to watch me rebuild brakes. Nobody wants me to watch me clean rust off of that and get it broke loose and get the brakes working. It's not that big of a deal. And then I'll adjust the runnability. We'll go out and test ride this thing and see if we can't adjust the runnability. So I am freaking pumped about that. So I'm gonna do the rest of that off camera, and then we'll follow up with the video here shortly with a test ride on this 86 TRIZ 250. All right, guys, so we got the front brake caliper rebuilt along with the front master cylinder, the rear master cylinder rebuilt on this bad boy, along with the rear brake caliper, new front and rear brake pads. Everything's bled out. All that was OEM parts from partzilla.com. I was really impressed. They had all the OEM seals, clips, and everything for this. Really impressed that they had that. Again, the Kickstarter is off a 1986 ATC Big Red, Honda Big Red, which is working well. We got some 20-to-1 in this. They call for 20-to-1 according to the manufacturer. I had 40-to-1, and then I looked here, and it literally says, be sure to mix fuel, mixing ratio 20-to-1. We have 1 gallon of fuel in there. I think it's a little rich, but that's, whoa, is that what the manufacturer calls for? Good. I'm still fighting a little bit on the carburetor. This is not the round slide. This is a flat slide. I'm pretty sure that was probably somebody upgrading this thing. Not 100% sure, but it is ice cold. I literally just got done bleeding the brakes out. Let's fire this thing up and let's go take it for a quick spin. So let's see how easy this thing will fire. Run position. We'll grab the choke, pull it up. No point in hitting the throttle. It doesn't have like an accelerator pump. All right, let's just give it a few primes. One kick, she fires right off. That's the way she should be. Right now we're still on choke. Choke's off. I'm really impressed at how easily this thing starts up. Now I'm sure there was a lot of dried oil and fuel in the crankcase because it's a 2-stroke. So I have ran it multiple times, let it get hot and all that. Haven't rode it because it has no brakes, so we're gonna take this thing out for a first ride. I do know the clutch was stuck. When I went to put it on my lift, I pulled the clutch in and it wouldn't roll. So basically what I did, I held it clutch in place and just slapped it down to first gear on my lift with the front tire locked in there. And it finally broke that thing loose. So let's back this out. Let's go take this thing for a little rip around the yard. Let's see if I can get you guys a decent view here too. It's been a long time since I rode a 3-wheeler. We'll do a few little runs. Oh, she died. We'll do a few little runs up and down through the yard, up and down the driveway to make sure. Oh, what's going on? Oh, I hit the off switch. I hit the kill switch up here in my hand. So long. She freaking rips though, that's for sure. A little bit of a stutter, not too horrible. But well, she definitely likes to rip around. It's kind of fun. It's been a long time. I'm not gonna bust any donuts or anything in my yard. This is fun. Check out cruising speed. Fourth gear I was cruising around in. Oh, that was, oh, I hit my back. Again, this is a 6-speed transmission. That's 6 gear. We're just cruising. Hit one more quick drive, fly up the driveway here for first gear. I run out of space to even think about hitting anything as far as like middle, fifth, or even hitting 6th gear. So it's starting to rev a little high, so I probably have the mixer screw a little too far out. So now it's warmed up. See, I'm not getting the gas right now. You hear it kind of running high like that. Let's grab, as long as it doesn't run away. A little high, could be a mixture screw thing, could be, if I can find something. Let's see. Nope, it's gonna be an idle thing. All right, so it's hot to get in there and turn that idle down. And what we gotta do that, you gotta go in through here or from the other side, turn that idle down. So, okay, well, that was fun. I haven't ridden a 2-stroke 3-wheeler in forever. And that one right there, I think it was maybe an 84, the black and yellow one is what about killed me. And a friend of mine when I was 15 years old back in like 1994. But I'm pretty much gonna call this one done. I'm gonna play at the carburetor. No point in having that done on camera. Just kind of run through. I thought it was a cool little thing to get in here. Not often you get a fully stock, well, can't say fully stock because I think that carburetor is actually, it's a flat slide, so I think that's going to be an aftermarket one. And I think he said something about the exhaust. Maybe the slip-on was aftermarket, something like that. But now it's got the carburetor's been completely gone through and rebuilt. New air filter, uni air filter. Clean and lube the chain. Let's see, front, rear master cylinders are rebuilt, OEM. Rear calipers are rebuilt. Front caliper rebuilt. New brake pads. New spark plug. A B80S is what it called for, but the BR8 ES is a direct replacement for that from NGK. All the lights work on this thing. Clutch works, all that. So I'm gonna call this one done. Like I said, I'll play around the carburetor and get it to idle perfectly before I do return it to the customer. So again, guys, I'll drop some links down below you can follow. Again, emanualsonline.com for all your service manuals needs. Use discount code LimitlessPower22 to save 22% at checkout. Hit up Partzilla for all your OEM parts, partzilla.com. I'm not affiliated with them, but you know, I do get a lot of my stuff from them. I am a dealer for them. Trying to think of what else is on there. Allballs.com, find their parts there, find your carburetor rebuild kits, all kinds of things for that. Oh yeah, I got new coolant in this thing also, flush out the cooling system. So yeah, guys, again, I appreciate everyone tuning in. If you have any questions, you can find me on Facebook at Limitless Power Sports Service and Repair. Bam, here on YouTube. Or you can email me at limitlesspowersports78@gmail.com. Anything else? Anything you guys do? Again, follow my affiliate links for Amazon, e-manuals, Rev 6. I'm getting some of those coming up for my other videos. Anything I got linked to this thing, guys, it helps the channel out, it helps me out. Again, hats, shirts are available. Let you know if you like one. I think hats are 20, shirts are 25, hats are 30 shipped to you. Again, guys, I appreciate tuning in. If you haven't subbed, do thumbs up, thumbs down. I'll catch you guys on my next upload.